What's up, y'all? I welcomed my Peloton Bike Plus into my life on November 19th of 2020. Guys, my Peloton is here. I'm having the time of my life. And today is December 21st. So it's been a little over a month, and I thought now would be a good time to do like my official 2020 Peloton bike review so that I could let you all know what my thoughts are about the Bike Plus a month in. A lot of you have been responding to my stories on Instagram, asking different questions about the bike. So I thought it would be helpful to do like a Peloton review for beginners, for moms, since those are the categories a lot of you guys fall in. Honestly, the main question that you all have been asking is it worth it? And personally, I think the question of is the Peloton bike worth it is a very personal decision because we define worth based on our own values, right? So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna answer that question from my perspective, but I think that in answering that question, it will help you figure out whether the Peloton bike is worth the money for you. You get what I'm saying? So you and I might not value the same things, but I think in hearing me talk about some of the things that I do like about the bike, some of the things that I don't like about the bike, you might be able to use that information to determine whether or not you should invest in one. If you do decide to invest in a bike, I do have a code in my description box that will get you $100 off of your bike, and it'll also give me a little reward too. So if you choose to buy, you're welcome to use that code in the description box, and let me know if you do, because I want to hear about your experience. I do also want to say up front that this is not going to be a video that dives super deep into the technicalities of the bike, like the flywheel weight and the adjustments and all that stuff. Like, I'm not going to be talking about the technical aspects of the bike because I'm a beginner myself. I'm not a pro. I didn't look at all that stuff when I bought this bike. What we're going to be talking about today is how has my experience been with the Peloton bike as a beginner? How has it been with the Peloton bike as a mom? And is it worth it? So y'all ready to go? All right. First, I'm going to quickly show you which package I bought from the Peloton store. What I should really say is I'm gonna show you which package my husband bought because Mike actually bought the bike and I am paying for the monthly subscription. I'll talk more about how the subscription works in a little bit, but here on the website, you can see the various options, the various packages. I chose to get the Bike Plus because I figured if we're gonna make this big investment, I want the latest version. And I also got the package that included a yoga mat, cycling shoes, and what else did it include? Oh, the 3-pound weights. So I think you have an option of choosing 1, 2, or 3-pound weights. And these are what the 3-pound weights look like. They're really cute and they sit right here in the back of the bike behind your butt. One question I received was, have you cycled before? Have you done cycling before? The answer to that question technically is yes, but honestly it's kind of like no. My only experience with cycling is back in college. We had to do a PE credit and I took cycling as my PE credit, but that was literally like over 10 years ago. And then during pharmacy school, when I had an LA Fitness membership, on occasion I would do the cycling classes at LA Fitness, but I wasn't like a go every day type person. It was just something occasional that I did whenever I felt like switching up my routine. So I would not consider myself an experienced or advanced or even intermediate cyclist at all. When I got my bike, I treated myself like a beginner. I'm still in the beginning stages, but I do not think that you need to have had cycling experience in order to enjoy the bike or to benefit from the bike. If you are worried that, you know, maybe it's not having experience that you're worried about, as in like maybe I won't be able to do it, maybe it's like, will I like it? I do think it could be worth finding some way to try out a Peloton before you actually buy it. And so there are physical Peloton stores where you can go in and you can try out the Bike Plus. You can try out the tread, which is the Peloton treadmill, and you might be able to get a feel there for how you might like the bike. Or if you know someone with the Peloton, like ask if you can come over and see what it's about. But I felt pretty confident based on the past classes that I had taken in cycling that I would enjoy it, because I like that cycling is kind of music driven, and I don't know, I just enjoy it as a workout for myself. When it comes to why I invested in a Peloton, first of all, I wasn't even thinking about a Peloton. Mike asked me if that would be something that I would be interested in, and so once he asked me, then I was like, oh well, yeah, I would be interested, but it wasn't something that I went out looking for, put it like that. But I am really, really, really happy with our investment, because it has changed so much about how I've been going through this entire year. So since March, it's been a really difficult time managing work and home, and the merging of work and home, being a business owner and being a mom of 2 small children, a 15-month-old and a 4-year-old. And I can really honestly say that I had not felt like myself really until I started exercising on the Peloton bike. Like, that was kind of the switch that helps me feel like myself again. I had been struggling to get physical activity this year. I mean, for obvious reasons. I think a lot of us probably have. A lot of us picked up quarantine weight, quarantine pounds. And I had been using the Nike NTC app occasionally. I did like a full 6-week program there with Kiersey or Bettina or somebody like that. And it was cool, but it was honestly hard to motivate myself to like go into the basement and work out. I don't know, I'm very big on ambiance and atmosphere. So I like to be in a certain type of place to motivate me to do a certain type of thing. That's why I love my gym membership, because when I go into the gym, I'm in the space where I know I'm gonna be working hard. I don't necessarily have that same motivation when I'm at home, but especially not when I'm at home all the time. I've been here for the past however many months. Like, I'm not motivated to do anything here because I have not been anywhere else. So because of that, it became really hard for me to be motivated to work out. There were some days when I would start to work out, I would literally do all the hard things, right? Got the clothes on, went downstairs to the basement, got my water, ate my food, powered up, and I would get down there and be like, bruh, I cannot today. And I would just bullshit around, lollygag. I would walk, I would do something hella light. I would I don't know. There were days when I was like jumping rope and doing the NTC workouts. And then there were days when I was like completely over it. It just really took so much mental and physical energy that I did not have. And so what has made the experience different for me having the Peloton is that, one, there are actual classes, there is actual structure that I can follow along with, and that is musically driven, because my exercise routines are very musically driven. And also, like, I feel like I'm more connected to a community of other people who are also doing the same thing. So I'll talk more about community later. But honestly, I've been working out pretty much every morning since I got the bike. Around 6:30 in the morning is the first thing I do. And since I started doing that, literally the whole feeling that I have throughout every day has changed, has improved. I'm going to sleep earlier and getting more and better sleep. I feel better in my body. I feel better in my clothes. I've cracked under a weight that I haven't been under since I was pregnant with Maya. I feel like I'm eating better. I have more energy. I just feel more like myself because I am working out regularly. And it doesn't take a whole lot of energy or motivation for me to do it, because I'm excited to do it every day. In fact, today is a rest day, and rest days are the hardest for me because I want to ride every day. So that kind of got into what I love about the Peloton, but I'll give some more examples of the things that I really, really like about it as well. The first is the vast variety of classes and instructors. I'm gonna get up and walk y'all through the screen so you can see exactly what I mean. When you first turn it on, you have the option of clicking on your particular profile, and this is mine. So as you can see, I am just a little bit obsessed. I've done 75 cycling classes, 28 stretching, 7 strength, 5 meditation, and I did do a Pilates class. That's probably under strength. I love that you can see all of your different metrics kind of right here in the overview. You can also follow people, so you can follow people and have people follow you. You can save different songs so that if you just want a free ride, which is an option, you can play various songs. And as you can see, you can connect your Apple Music and your Spotify accounts if you would like. You can also see your achievements, so how much progress you've been making, and look at all the different programs they have, right? Like, this is the Shonda collab I was telling y'all about. This one I love, amazing. Robin's prenatal class series. They just dropped Peloton Pilates, which I've done a couple of those. They just have so many. Peloton Beyonce, Sundays with Love. That's with Allie Love, one of the instructors. There are just so many different collections, and then also different programs that you can take part in. So the program that I am doing right now is Discover Your Power Zones, because I am trying to get stronger and faster. And so this is kind of what I mean by the variety, right? Like, you can find classes that are very music centric and music driven. Like, for example, there's a 90s ride, classic rock ride, or you can find classes that are more geared towards achieving certain fitness goals, that where the music is less central to the actual experience. Also, you can filter these different classes in a variety of ways. So by genre, by length of time, by instructor. You also have way more than just the bike classes. So as you can see, you have floor work, strength, which includes like Pilates, body weight. It includes weight exercises. You've got cardio, you've got stretching, you've got yoga, you have a meditation. There is no shortage of variety when it comes to the classes that you can take. There are also boot camp classes. I'm not there yet. I'll get there soon, but I'm not there yet. And then, like I mentioned, you can also do, where is that? You can also do a just ride where you just hop on and ride, or you can do a scenic ride where you like look at different stuff. And I like to do these when I am taking calls or when I'm doing something that like doesn't require me to actually participate. Gives me an opportunity to not just sit there and look at my computer screen, you know. So I'll hop on this and I'll do that. You can also see when the live classes are happening. So today is the 21st. We can see what's going on tonight, and then you can schedule that class if you want to participate in it. Don't count me in for that though. So that's pretty cool. There are challenges. So I am in these challenges. I think I just joined that Pilates challenge, and I don't know what that is or if I'm in it. I completed the November activity challenge. You get a very in-depth breakdown of like how you did during a ride, your output, your cadence. Y'all see those dips all the way down? That's when I had to get off the bike, unclip to readjust my seat, and then get back on. So that's what I mean when like your metrics just go blank because you have to unclip because you can't pause the ride. But that ride was dope though. That ride was dope. It was the Hamilton ride. So yeah, I mean, I just think it's like really great, really great. So with those classes that I showed you, one of the other cool things, if you follow Peloton on social media, like especially their Instagram profile, you'll also just see how innovative their collection of classes and partnerships are. Like, for example, they've just announced a partnership with Shonda Rhimes, the Year of Yes partnership. They have really exciting musical partnerships, like they had the Outkast rides, the Beyonce rides, Nicki Minaj. I love that the instructors have their own individual brands and personalities and communities around them. I just think that as a modern company centered around health and wellness, that they do a really good job of building that connection and being innovative in the approach that they're taking to their product. And so I really enjoy that as a consumer of it. Speaking of the community that the instructors build around them, I am also so enamored with the communities that individual Peloton users build around the bike. So for example, I joined the Black Girl Magic Peloton Edition, I think that's the name of it, Facebook group before I even got my bike, because I wanted to like immerse myself in the culture and figure out what all was going on. And so it's really fun to do like the challenges and to see what people are up to in that group. And you feel like you are a part of a community of people rather than just some like one random person who's riding a bike watching these people on the screen. You know what I mean? Speaking of the screen, I was concerned that I'm not a person who watches the TV while I am on the elliptical or the treadmill. Like, you know, at the LA Fitnesses, sometimes they have the little personal TVs. That actually makes me a little bit motion sick. And so I was actually worried that I would not enjoy that screen experience. But I think because the screen is so big and because of the positioning of the screen, it makes it I don't notice that at all. And it also has the capability to cast to a smart TV if you have a smart TV that you can like connect it to. I don't have a TV in my office, but the screen is more than big enough for me. If you do have a TV though, that's an option for you. And that can come in handy with some of the non-bike classes. So like if you're doing stretching or strength exercise or yoga or something like that, I think that is when people especially like to cast the screen to their smart TV. So that's a cool option that's available. 3 more things that I love about it. It's really quiet. I'm gonna let y'all hear me ride it for a second. See how you can't really hear the bike? You can hear the music, you can hear whoever's talking, but you can't really hear the bike. You shouldn't be able to hear the bike. There's also a Bluetooth, there's also a headphone jack on it, or you can connect your Bluetooth headphones. So if you did need to ride quietly without anybody being able to hear from the screen, then that is an option as well. I love that I have the option of making the music louder than the instructor. So if you're doing a class, right, and there's an instructor talking, but there's also the music that they're playing, you can listen to it the original way, or you can change it so that the music is louder than the instructor, or that the instructor is a little bit louder than the music. And I love that feature. And then the last thing is I love that it can sync with my Fitbit. So I have a Fitbit Versa Lite. I think I finally figured out what kind of Fitbit I have. It's a Versa Lite, and it's really easy to just share my data from the Peloton to my watch, and it'll include my steps, it includes the calories and that type of thing. As far as the downsides, 2 major things come to mind. One is that you cannot pause a class. So if you are clipped in, you are on the bike and clipped in, and you are in the middle of a class and like Trey's nose is bleeding and I need to go help him clean his nose, or the doorbell rings and I need to check the door, any reason I need to get up off the bike, I cannot pause the class and go do that. So I'm just gonna miss all of that time. My metrics are gonna be lost for that time. Like it's gonna say 0, I'm not moving, because you cannot pause the class. So I hate that actually. And the other thing that I dislike that I have not contacted customer service about yet, but that I will, is that my seat drops when I am cycling at high cadences. It does not do it all the time, but it does do it enough to where sometimes, again, I have to clip out, readjust my seat, get back on the bike and keep riding. And because I cannot pause the ride, I lose my metrics for that point in time. So that is very frustrating, and that is a flaw that I have seen heavily discussed around the Bike Plus. In the Black Girl Magic Facebook group, many women have said that they did not experience this issue with the bike, but they do experience that issue with the Bike Plus. So I don't know if it's a manufacturer flaw or what, But that is something to be aware of. Right now, I have my bike on carpet and it is not on plywood, nor is it on a mat, but I will be getting a plywood and a mat because I would like it to be a little bit more stable and a little bit less shaky, particularly when I am out of the saddle, meaning when I'm like standing up, jogging on the bike. All in all, the short answer is the Peloton bike worth it? For me, absolutely 100% yes. Would not think twice about it. Only regret is that I did not get it in March when quarantine started. I just think it's an amazing product and I am 107% here for it. So if you have a Peloton, I would love to know your opinion of it. If you do not, I would love to know whether you're thinking about getting one. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions that I did not answer about the bike. I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, be sure to share it with a friend who might find it useful as well. I'll see y'all.